Thanks for staying with us. I'm Arba Kumsin. President Mahama is hitting the campaign trail today after a short break attending to official duties. The president is today expected to begin his campaign in the Bono-Ahafo region, where he is scheduled to interact with the chiefs and people of various towns such as Bichem, Dwayao, Nkwanta, among others. He will also commission a community day SHS at Kintampo North and address the gathering at Sunyai, which will be the venue for tomorrow's National Teachers Day. Well, today he is beginning his tour from Yeji, which will climax with a rally later in the day. We can get more details from our correspondent Precious Semivor for more on this. Precious, good afternoon to you. Hello, Precious. Can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
Good. Now, we know the NDC's presence in the Bono-Ahafo region is quite strong. I mean, the region often swings in favor of the party during the polls. So, what will the president be seeking to do as he takes his campaign there?
Well, it's been difficult hearing you, but it's about the president touring the Bono-Ahafo region. It's a 5-day tour, actually, which started today and is expected to end on Saturday. And one of the things that the president is expected to take part in is the celebration of the National Best Teachers Awards, which will take place tomorrow in Sunyani at the Jubilee Park here in the Bono-Ahafo region. But today, the president has already been to Yeji, where he paid a courtesy call on the Omanhene of Yeji, Nana Timamtim Kabrete, and he also had an interaction with traders at Yeji. Now, from Yeji, he moved on to Prang to interact and then call on the Omanhene of Prang. And as we speak, the president is at Basa, where he's also paying a courtesy call on the Omanhene of Basa. Now, from Basa today, the president will move to Kwame Danso, that is the Junior Traditional Council, and the president is also expected to have an interaction with them and then end it up with a rally at Asiedu Amantine. But before then, he would have paid a courtesy call on the Omanhene of Asiedu Amantine. Now, tomorrow will be day 2, where the National Best Teachers Awards will take place in Sunyani. He will move on to Bechem as well as Nkwanta and then Abisim, all in the Bono-Ahafo region. Now, day 3, we'll see the president, inaugurate a community day senior high school at New Longoro in the Kintampo North of the Bono-Ahafo region. From there, the president will interact with the chiefs and people of Busunya, of Dema, as well as Busunya, all in the Bono-Ahafo region, and also inaugurate a community day senior high school at Techima North, that is a town by name Krobo at Techima North. And then finally, the president will end his 3rd-day tour in Techiman with a rally, but before then, he will move on to the Techiman Palace and then call on the Techiman Ekunfi. Now, day 4, we see the president move back to Nkoranza, where he will pay a courtesy call on the chief of Nkoranza as well as Wenchi, and then move to Insoko as well as Sampa, and then end it up at Drobo. Now, the final day of the president's tour, we see him move to Doma Akwemu, where the president, John Dramani Mahama, is expected to have an interaction with the chiefs and people of Doma Akwemu. He will move on to Amasu, and as expected, the president to be inspecting the construction of the Amasu Road, as well as great the Omanhene of Mame, and then crown it up with an interaction with the people of Kenya before departing the Bono-Ahafo region. So it's certainly going to be a long day, long 5 days for the president, which has already started. And as we speak, the president is at Basa in the Bono-Ahafo region.
Many thanks, and that's Precious Semivor, our Bono-Ahafo regional correspondent, bringing us some details on what the president is expected to do as he campaigns in that region for the next 5 days. Well, one issue that has come up strongly in that region is a microfinance scam, which has left many people there penniless. NDC General Secretary Johnson Asiedu-Nketia is accusing the opposition NPP of orchestrating the microfinance scandal to cause disaffection for the governing party. He spoke exclusively with my colleague Evans Mensah.
You heard about some people calling themselves customers of DKM who in reality are not customers. They're
You know that?
They are just MPP operative. But the record of DKM customers.
Did you check to verify?
Yes, I checked. Those who signed the press release threatening demonstration, none of them is a customer of DKM. So this is some well-beaten path. So, and we are happy that they don't change. So we are able to predict what they will be doing. And that's good for us. So I wasn't surprised about that because the way Tamale shook when Honorable Inusa did his campaign launch. So they wanted something just thrown in there to take the shine away from that activity.
You've done politics far longer than most. Let me ask you about, people see a trend happening now where, apart from the main campaign launch of the party, we're seeing almost like a competition between the candidates, parliamentary candidates who also launch their campaign. And it's always huge on a massive scale. I mean, what is that new, and why is it so dominant part of the campaign?
That is not new. Out for campaigns is, out for rallies is part of the campaign. But it could be deceptive if you just concentrated your campaign on holding rallies. The person-to-person touch at times is more effective. So even as our MPs decide to shock their opponents with these massive crowds, they are also very much aware that we've advised and trained them that campaign is just a one-to-one affair, and then elections are not won at district headquarters or constituency headquarters. They are won at a polling station, which is a branch. So, but in a sense, bringing your branch executives to a major campaign launch like that, at least they learn about what is contained in your manifesto. They are able to get maybe copies of the manifesto and other pieces of advice. So they go and then they continue the campaign in their respective branches. You know, in NDC, a branch is a polling station area. So when the 9 branch executives in the polling station area are engaged in the campaign, they don't need TNT.
So that's NDC Secretary General Secretary Johnson Asiedu-Nketia there. You can catch the full interview on The Pulse, which comes immediately after this program. Well, the MPP Director of Communications, Nana Komia, has dismissed the allegations by the NDC, describing them as laughable. Still on the campaign trail, MPP flag bearer Nane Kufuado is taking his campaign to Awutu West constituency here in the Greater Accra region. That particular constituency has been a hotspot for the party, as there's been confusion over the voters list there, with the constituency chairman also deciding to contest as an independent candidate. We can get some updates from that. Joy News's Latif Idris is joining us on the line. He's traveling with the MPP flag bearer. Latif, Awutu West has been quite turbulent for the MPP, and now with the constituency chairman deciding to contest as an independent candidate, it'll be a key area to watch. But what is Danado expected to do whilst in the constituency?
Yeah, as we speak now, Awutu West is sad. Everywhere you pass in this constituency, we have party faithful and passers-by lining up the streets to cheer up the presidential candidates of the New Patriotic Party. Now, the rift between Theophilus Ni, Ayekwe, Tete, and Asiedu-Nketia is very clear here for all to see. Now, what the party is trying to do in this constituency today is to bridge the gap between these two candidates. But it is clear that Theophilus has no intentions at all of coming back to join the New Patriotic Party. Leonardo, in his speech, just made some points about how he's going to revive the National Health Insurance Scheme, help the fishing industry, and some of the key things he's been touching on since he started this campaign tour. Now, Theophilus didn't show up here. What we gathered was that probably the party executives would try and then bridge this gap. But from what we've seen today here at Chiabu, that's the first stop of the presidential candidate. There are no indications at all that the party will bridge that gap between Theophilus and Asiedu-Nketia. Now, I have the National Women's Organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Madam Awutu here, who has been part of the campaign tour since it started. I would like to find out from you, how critical would it be, the fact that Theophilus has gone independent? Are you sure Asiedu will be able to, keep on and hold on to this seat?
This is MPP we are talking about in Awutu West. From our mother, Teresa Tego, now having been inherited the seat. by ESLA. The spirit of the movement of the New Patriotic Party is in ESLA. So anybody who is MPP, who loves MPP, who wants MPP to come to power, you don't have a choice. You have to vote for ESLA. So as for us, Theo is our son. He rose through the ranks, became a chairman, and because of one or two things, maybe he's not happy. So we'll still be talking to him to see what will happen. But when you come to Shiabu here, you can feel the spirit of change. And people are not interested in somebody's problems. They're only interested in solutions. People cannot get school. They cannot get alawa. They cannot get jobs. Nanado is promising them that they also deserve part of the national cake.
Are you saying that Theophilos' defection from the party wouldn't hurt you in the parliamentary polls particularly?
Theophilos has not defected.
He's gone independent.
Yeah, people go independent. That doesn't mean that they have defected.
He's obviously going to carry away some faithful of the party.
As I'm saying, you do not say that it's over until it is over. As far as I'm concerned, you, as a chairman who rose through the ranks to become chairman of MPP, I believe that by the grace of God, getting to the end, he will drop out. But even that notwithstanding, the fact is that this is MPP we are talking about. People want change. So whether Theo comes or he doesn't come, they are going to vote for change. And Nanado and ESLA represent that. ESLA is a powerful woman, a communicator, a beautiful woman, charismatic, and all that. She represents them well. One or two things have happened. In Chi, they say, we are one. And so I know that our brother Theo will come round. You know, when things happen, you get upset. But it's not the end of the world. So I will use this opportunity to tell Theo and his supporters, come home, because there is a place for you. It is not only going to Parliament. Anybody who thinks that they should go independent, they are still MPP first of all, and you want to see power. So come. And when we get the power, you get yours. Somebody's child will go to school. Somebody will get employment. And then Ghana will have a better place. And that is all that we want.
All right. That was the National Women's Organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Awutu West, telling us how the party will unite going forward. And that it's the hope of the party that come December 7th, Theophilos will tie with Asiedu-Nketia in order for the party to retain the Ablekuma West seat in Parliament. Arba.
All right, thank you very much. That's Latif Idris, and he'll be bringing us an update in our subsequent bulletins. To the central region now, where the opposition MPP in Trefo Atimokwa constituency is accusing NDC of collecting residents' voters' ID cards under the pretext of giving them meters. The party says the practice will disenfranchise many in the constituency during the December polls. At a news conference in Trefo Praso Tuesday, member of the party, Fobi Jeche, called on the people to resist any such attempt by the NDC.
We have received numerous complaints from the constituents that the NDC is going around faking people's voters' ID card and promising them of giving them ECG meters. If we could remember, on the 26th of August 2016, the Ashanti Regional PRO of ECG, Mr. Erasmus Shrebedu, complained of fake and stolen meters in the system by politicians. We are cautioning the people of Trefo Atimokwa not to accept any meter from any politician, but rather use the right channel in securing their meters. ECG is the only mandated company to distribute meters, and no other person or politicians. Accepting meters from these politicians will only result in 1. High billing, 2. Future disconnection by ECG, 3. Arrest, imprisonment, or fine by the law courts. The NDC is smartly deceiving the people of Trefo Atimokwa and Ghana that they are constructing the Trefo Praso Dunkwa on Offin and Trefo Praso Asinfosu Road. Trefo Praso Dunkwa on Offin Road is about 75 kilometers long, and the Trefo Praso Asinfosu Road is only 41 kilometers. Only 10 kilometers of each of these roads have been awarded on contract as cocoa roads and funded by the Cocoa Board. We are asking 10 kilometers out of 71 and 41 respectively. They are constructing only 10 by measures Mahomes. The NDC, with its propaganda machinery, is creating an impression that the whole 75 and 41 kilometers of road have been constructed. respectively, have been constructed. As if this propaganda is not enough, barely 3 months to election, they said they have started constructing the Cape Coast to Fufras Road. Why is the road being constructed now when the NDC have been in power for 8 years and they have barely 2 months, to exit power? The people of Chifu-Atimukwa cannot be deceived any longer. The people of Chifu-Atimukwa have no short memories as suggested by the president.
So that's a member of the MPP in the Central Region, Fobi Jeche, addressing the press there earlier today. We can get some more details from our correspondent, Richard Kojonyaku, who joins us on the line. Richard, does the MPP have evidence to back this claim they make against the NDC?
Yes, they say they have evidence. Then the evidence is incontrovertible one. They have seen it for themselves, and they have some of their members that have gone through or that have experienced this thing they are talking about, and so that is why they are making this call. And most importantly, it is not only even the call on the ID card that the NDC has been collecting from the residents that they are worried about. They are also worried about the state of the constituency. They talked about the Chifu-Praso Bridge that is almost a death trap. Vehicles still use the road. That particular bridge is on the River Pra, and gallantry activities are seriously ongoing under the bridge, and children and adults alike, they all use that bridge. Apart from that one, they also say that the NDC included certain things within the constituency in their manifestos that are not true. They mentioned the hospital, the CETA beds that they spoke about. They also mentioned the 123 community day senior high school, which the NDC manifesto says that there is one in the constituency, and they are saying that that is a lie. And so these are some of the things, these are some of the allegations they are making against the NDC.
All right, many thanks. Kojo Nyako there. He's our Central Regional Now, do billboards win political campaigns? Well, the answer varies depending on where you stand. That is, whether you are a party in power or in opposition. Also, while some may see it as an effective way of advertising your campaign message, others see it as a visible waste of money or just unnecessary. Billboards, though, make a candidate feel good. They make him think that he's getting his message and his name out there. They make him feel important because his name and face are right there, 50 feet in the air for everyone who drives by to see. Well, with barely 2 months to December polls, our checks reveal several billboards littered across the country, but they are mainly of the governing presidential and parliamentary candidates. My colleague Manasseh Azura when he joins me in the studio because he's been traveling the length and breadth of the country. Manasseh, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So what's peculiar about some of these billboards that you've been seeing having traveled the length and breadth of the country?
Well, everywhere you go, you find a lot of them, and I can say about 90% of those I see, if not more, are billboards of either the president or parliamentary candidates of the governing NDC. And sometimes you see some of them, and there may be other political parties, but very small billboards dwarfed by those of the NDC. For instance, we are coming from the UCC, University of Cape Coast, the new site. If you are coming out of the gate, you see two giant billboards, one on the right, that of the NDC presidential candidate, and then the other one for Kobie Champong. It also has the NDC's President Mahama, who is also there.
I've seen most of these huge billboards in Accra, in Sakumono, and on the highway, the N1 highway, and other places as well. But where have you been seeing these billboards? Which areas did you see these billboards?
Well, apart from those in Accra, I also had opportunity for the past 2 months to travel to 8 out of the 10 regions we have in this country. And I can tell you from here, I traveled by bus from here to Tamale. From Tamale to Damongo, I came back, went to Bolga, Damongo up to the Paga border, went to Sirigu, quite a number of places.
And in all these
places, yes. For instance, if you are coming from Tamale to Damongo, and the parliamentary candidates you see, you'd wonder who are contesting the NDC candidates. For instance, you see a lot of John Jinapo's billboards, Adams Musa Wakilu in Damongo area, but you hardly see a single one of them. And I spoke to some members of the MPP who didn't come out, but All that they said is that, Charlie, there's
no
cash.
Money. All right, thank you very much, Manasseh, zero winner there. But, well, marketing guru George Anda, who's also contesting the Awutu West seat on the ticket of the MPP, says although billboards play an important role in making a candidate more visible, it is not the only means of catapulting a candidate to victory. He also dismissed suggestions that the MPP was not mounting billboards because they are broke. He spoke to Inshirado on the Super Morning Show.
I think that we all know that campaign billboards play a role in terms of visibility and awareness. Campaign billboards do not necessarily influence the purchase behavior or the behavior of the target. There are different ways beyond billboards for creating awareness and to driving connection of a message. And currently, the school of thought is that there must be a balance between the big out there in your face communication and then the subtle personalized engagement. If you recall,
and so that's George Anda. He's a marketing guru and he's a candidate standing on the ticket of the MPP. Now, reports of failed parliamentary aspirants deciding to go independent are not new, but it appears the parties are finding it more of a challenge trying to get such people who fail to get the nod of supporters this time around to stay. Only yesterday, we brought you the story of a list of supposed MPP candidates who are contesting as independents, which is making the rounds. The party has dismissed that list, but it appears the phenomenon is not just restricted to the MPP alone. Another list has emerged, this time purportedly from the NDC in the Volta region, which is usually referred to as the party's World Bank. It lists candidates seeking to contest as independents in constituencies such as Akan, Ho Central, Agoti Meziope, North Dai, Akachi South, Ketu South, which is 3 independent candidates, and North Tong, among others. And stay tuned to this channel. We'll be getting details on this in subsequent bulletins. But that's how we wrap up the show. I'm Marva Crimson.